so much for my wonderful viewers for tuning in. The way it works is we do have, as clients, or our clients have expectations deeply rooted in their minds. Oh, don't get me wrong. They do have expectations and they know exactly what they want from you, and they have a scorecard in the sky what they will use to judge if you've succeeded. And what usually happens is we have this conversation, or you might have this conversation about what is it that the client wants you to do, and then you respond with what you can do. So, even if you're properly listening to the client's expectations, what usually happens is you're thinking, okay, well, out of what I can do, or out of the services we can do, this is what we can provide. And because you're usually quite an expert in providing your services, you're quite well spoken and quite confident in what you're saying. But the big problem is the client still has their expectations in their head. Whether it's a coaching client for you personally, whether it's a agile client for you as an agile coach, whether it's a consulting client for a company like ours, there is this discrepancy. And what we have Blaži saying is the language is cryptic. Yes, nobody's really used to say, oh, I want this and this is how much I want to spend, even though we're asking this question and sometimes we do get an answer, but it's really tricky for people to hear this question. But getting back to it, we've got one side, which is the service provider, the coach or the consultant, and then the clients. Now the problem is you said you will deliver this, and as an expert, you might even contract it that you will deliver this. Now, the problem is your client will still judge you by the expectations they have in their mind, right? Because they heard from their friends that, an agile consultancy will do this, a marketing consultancy is supposed to do that, and so on and so forth. And, the saying goes, the client is always right, unless you're Richard Branson and you basically are talking that your employees are always right. But apart from that, there's this discrepancy. And there's a problem brewing because you might deliver exactly what's in the contract. You might be delivering all the services, all the outputs, even all the outcomes that you've contracted. But are you fulfilling the client's hidden expectations? Are you really willing to say that they'll be happy and they'll recommend you, or they'll renew you, or they will get more work from you? Are you really adding value to what the client expects? And you might be doing what you think the client needs, but is it what they really want? Is it what will get you either a renewal, or is it what will help the client grow so you can grow with them? It's really hard to tell. So again, I think out of all this, what I wanted to say is this is the most important question. What is it that you want to achieve? And, we're so not used to not only asking it, but answering it. So imagine a situation. You go to the office or sit down in your home office at home. And do you ask yourself this question every day? Do you ask yourself this question every time you're starting to do something? What do I want to achieve? Because I think, especially in the Western society and with the Western mode of education, don't really have much experience anywhere else in the world firsthand. We're not used to asking or answering them. Nobody asks us the question, what do you want to achieve, when we arrive at school or at the university? Or even when we're permanent employees, we arrive to work, whether remote or in the office or on site. That's a bit of a challenge because we're used to showing up. And maybe we're used to some other people telling us what we want to achieve. There always is another person. And I think personally, if I go to this Coach on the Rocks moment and a reflection on, possibly even a personal journey, asking yourself this question, what you want to achieve every day, at every stand-up, at the start of every engagement, and the engagement with your clients, partners, or whoever, is probably quite helpful. So if you start your day with a question of, what is it that I want to achieve? there is a very slight chance that you might even achieve it. And wouldn't it be great if we always manage to achieve what we want to achieve? Yes, you would say it's unrealistic to do that, but just to highlight what I actually talked about today, start with that question. Yes, it's important to start with why, but challenge yourself and challenge your clients with the question of what do you actually want to achieve? And keep repeating it, because you'll be surprised how much you'll provoke them to think. Thank you for joining me for these couple of minutes for the Coach on the Rocks by TK, your humble coach. Visit us later today with Arif for the Agile Fireside Chat with Gabriele Teofili. It's going to be a wonderful chat this afternoon. You can see it on Humble Associates profile. And if you like this form of contact, which is uninterrupted by AI bots and the algorithm, I'm sure the algorithm sees me all the time, do give it a like. I'll try to go live impromptu. Who knows, maybe even tomorrow. Sit tight, have a nice day, and I'll see you around.